The cafe was alive with the hum of evening conversations. The smell of freshly ground coffee beans swirled with the faint sweetness of pastries just pulled from the oven. Students crowded one corner, tapping furiously on laptops. A group of friends laughed over milkshakes at another table. An elderly couple sat quietly by the window, sipping tea, their hands intertwined as though holding on to memories. At a corner table near the back, a man sat alone. He wore a simple gray sweater, dark jeans, and no flashy watch or jewelry to draw attention. He looked, to anyone passing by, like a quiet professional taking a break after work. But behind those calm eyes was Ethan Royce, a billionaire whose name dominated headlines in the world of finance and technology. He was known for billion-dollar deals, ruthless strategies, and building an empire that stretched across continents. But tonight, Ethan wasn't Ethan Royce, the mogul. He was just a man seeking silence. He had come to this cafe because it wasn't the kind of place where people expected to find a billionaire. Here, no one asked for photographs, no reporters followed him, and no investors demanded his time. Here, he could sip his espresso in peace. As his gaze wandered lazily across the cafe, he noticed her. The woman behind the counter. She wasn't extraordinary in the way the world defined it. No glittering jewelry, no expensive clothes. Her uniform was slightly faded, her shoes worn, but she moved with a quiet efficiency that spoke volumes. Her name tag read Clara. She looked no older than her early 30s, but the faint tiredness in her eyes hinted at struggles far heavier than her years. Ethan noticed the way she smiled politely at every customer, even the rude ones who snapped their fingers impatiently. He noticed how she carefully placed a slice of pie in front of an old man, asking if he wanted extra napkins, as though that tiny detail mattered. And he noticed the way she kept glancing at the clock, not in boredom, but with the worried air of someone racing against responsibilities waiting outside these cafe walls. Clara was a single mother. Life had carved resilience into her bones. She woke before dawn each day, packed her son's school lunch, walked him to class, and came here to work double shifts, sometimes triple. Her friends had long since stopped inviting her out, because she was always too busy or too tired. But she didn't complain. Every blister on her hands, every ache in her back, was a small price to pay for the roof over her child's head. Then, in a single moment, the fragile calm of the cafe shattered. The front door slammed open with a force that made heads turn. Two masked men stormed in, one holding a pistol, the other brandishing a crowbar. Their voices tore through the air like thunder. On the ground, everyone down, now. Chairs scraped, cups spilled, and the sound of glass breaking echoed as panic rippled through the cafe. A student screamed. Someone dropped a tray, sending plates crashing. The elderly couple clung to each other, trembling as if the very air had turned poisonous. Ethan's first instinct was to stand, to do something, but years of caution froze him. The man with the gun waved it wildly, pointing at random, his finger too close to the trigger. One wrong move could mean disaster. But as fear swept through the room, Ethan saw her, Clara. She wasn't frozen. She wasn't screaming. She crouched behind the counter, her movements precise, deliberate. With one arm, she gently guided the elderly couple closer to safety. With her other hand, she motioned to a teenage waiter, barely 16, urging him to duck behind the shelves. Her voice, low but steady, carried across the chaos. It's okay. Stay down. Don't panic. You'll be fine. The gunman slammed his fist on the counter. Money. Open the register. Now. He barked. His voice cracked with desperation, as though he wasn't used to commanding fear but was clinging to it. Clara's hands did not shake as she opened the drawer. She pulled out the bills, stacking them slowly, keeping her movements visible but calm. Her eyes didn't flinch when the gun barrel inched closer to her chest. "Take it," she said evenly. "There's no need to hurt anyone. Just take it and go." Ethan's heart pounded as he watched. She wasn't reckless, nor was she submissive. She was calm in a way that demanded respect. Her voice wasn't begging, it was commanding. The robbers, for all their bravado, seemed unsettled by her composure. The second robber, the one with the crowbar, grew impatient. He smashed a glass, sending shards flying. A woman screamed again. The gunman snapped his head toward her, but Clara spoke quickly, drawing his focus back. "Look at me," she said firmly, her voice sharp enough to cut through the noise. "You don't need to scare them. You've got what you came for. Leave while you can." The silence alarm had already been pressed beneath the counter, her subtle move unnoticed. But every second mattered. She was buying time. For the police, for everyone trapped inside. The gunman's eyes narrowed. He shoved the barrel closer to her face. "You're too calm. You think you're smart, huh?" Clara's voice didn't waver. "No, I just know families are in here. People with children. You don't want that on your conscience. Take the money. Go." For a moment, even Ethan thought she might have gone too far. But something in her tone, so steady, so assured, made the man hesitate. His hands, though still tight on the weapon, stopped shaking. Then it came, the faint wail of sirens in the distance. The robbers froze, exchanging panicked looks. Their bravado crumbled in an instant. With a curse, the gunman shoved the bag of cash under his arm. "Let's go," the one with the crowbar shouted. And just like that, they bolted, crashing through the door, disappearing into the night. The room fell into stunned silence, broken only by the heavy breaths of those who had been hiding. Slowly, people began to rise. Some cried, some hugged each other, others rushed to Clara, thanking her, calling her brave, their voices trembling with gratitude. But Clara shook her head. "I just did what I had to do," she whispered, wiping her hands on her apron, as though brushing away the fear she wouldn't let anyone else see. Ethan sat still, his mind racing. He had seen leaders in boardrooms buckle under pressure. He had seen wealthy men crumble at the thought of loss. But this woman, with nothing but courage and a mother's heart, had stood firm in the face of danger. As the police arrived, taking statements and calming the shaken crowd, Ethan's gaze never left Clara. To the others, she was just a waitress who had kept her cool. But to him, she was something far more. A reminder that true strength wasn't found in bank accounts or power. It was found in ordinary people who chose to rise when it mattered most. And Ethan knew, without a shred of doubt, that this was only the beginning.